we're building a marketplace. So for you, it's one more place or one more avenue that your clients and customers can find you. You have, some of you may have your own site, you may do business via Instagram and other avenues. So this is one more place for you to kind of get additional revenue, level up your business. And we're super excited to be working with you and getting your items onto the site. We're still, we're launching it, but we're also still working with the developers as was, you know, we were part of the beta. So as you go through the site and have questions or have recommendations for improvements, please let us know, because we want to build it so that it's useful for you. And then on our next slide, Patty's going to cover this slide, but this is a super exciting slide because this is some additional sneak peek into one of the scenes as well.
Pretty. Yeah, so this is actually a mock-up that we gave our graphic designer as she was pulling the site together. And this is really a drill down of one party in particular. So the guide will be split into celebration ideas and gift ideas. Some of you may be in both. Actually, probably a few of you are in both, depending on which scenes you were a part of. But this particular scene is holiday party at a restaurant. And so you'll see, of course, the beautiful imagery. We're going to weave in things like blog posts and other kind of holiday tips to make it look interesting. And then you'll actually see where it says shop the look. So this is kind of the same thing as if you were to scroll down on the page. Shop the look, and then you'll see a lovely photo of a mini reindeer piñata. So that looks familiar, right, Lisette? And so what we plan to do, so there's all the different items that came out in the shoot. So people can go through and actually see, like, I'd love those cute little piñatas. Let me click on that. And then the click through will go over into our Festively site where they can go ahead and purchase, review, or reserve, things like that. So what we're actually, as we go through this site, what we look for from you is to create your listing in Festively. That's what we're going to go over. And then we'd actually need for you to send us back a link to that listing and the price. We just made up a price list. I don't know if your piñatas are $5. I just made it up for the purposes of the mock-up. But this is, you know, an opportunity for folks to be able to really easily, you know, at a glance, be able to see all the items and how they can purchase.
All right. So here you see a timeline. On the top is a timeline for Festively, and on the timeline bottom is a timeline for you. So all this week, twice a day, we are hosting these trainings to make sure that everyone really have what they need and the information and resources to get their items ready, because we're aiming to launch on October 5th. And so immediately after today's training, it may be the end of the day, we'll be sending you your photos from the style shoot. Now, we are working with our photographer, Rachel, and so the ones that we have completed, we'll send. So we have 7 of the 8 scenes, and the only one we're missing is the Dia de los Muertos. And then also we took some individual shots of products, and so we're still waiting on those photos as well. But for the first 7 scenes, we'll be sending out your photos. We want to get your listings up on the site by September 29th, and then you'll send over to us the descriptions and the prices so that we can also get those added to the guide. And then we'll be launching on October 5th, so we're asking for you not to share any of the photos in social media until then. And we understand that everyone is at a different level in their use of social media. So on October 3rd, we'll be sending you some templates that you could possibly use for your posts, for your IG stories, and then any other social media platforms that you have. We're going to be writing blogs. We're going to be implementing a PR advertising plan, and we'll continue to do that and promote it throughout the end of the year. And so we ask that you do the same. You know, even though we're launching October 5th, keep talking about it in the holidays. Find creative ways to just kind of reinvent your content as well. And so this is a vendor checklist. So today is about getting your business account set up with Festively and creating your listing. So the photos that you receive are the ones that are going to be linking back to the style guide, but you have the ability to put as many photos of your products as you want. So maybe, people know you to sell one item, but hey, you do these additional things. All that you provide as a business, we welcome you to put that on Festively as well, not just the listing and the guide. Again, this is another place for you to get revenue and for people to see what you offer and buy from you. So when you send the listing by the 29th, so just let us know the name of it and the price. The example here is a holiday balloon garland at $200. HelloSign is a system that we use to get the electronic signature for you and the vendor agreement. So if you have not completed that, check your spam, and I'll also be sending some reminders to those who haven't by the end of today. Start drafting your social media posts, get an idea of the angle that you want to kind of present your products or present your services for the holidays, and start working on that. And for those of you who do have vendor contracts as a part of your business, just take a moment and review those. That's just a reminder. And then when you're looking at your pricing, so let's say if your balloon garland is $200, Festively does collect 7% transaction fee. And this is really how, we make our revenue to kind of, to really develop and maintain the site or just to exist as a business. And then we partner with Stripe on the back end to collect and to do the transactions and to pay you and to collect the money. And they have a 3% transaction fee as well. So factor this in. So if your balloon garland is, $200, and then you have this additional 10% added on, then you would possibly price them at $220. So that's just an example. Patty, do you want to add anything? Okay.
I'm actually curious because you guys all sell products and you've had your business and whatnot. Where do you guys currently list products online, or how do you sell right now?
Mine's through like word of mouth a lot, referrals, word of mouth. And I do post on Instagram and Facebook, and I do get business that way, particularly around the holidays.
Okay. The majority of my orders are through Etsy, but then I also do through emails and invoice them through PayPal as well.
Yeah, I use Etsy for most of my listings, and it'll just be through Instagram through DMs.
And mine are through my website and repeat customers. And I always send thank you cards for every order.
Nice. And then Angela put online in DMs. Angela has the gratitude joy candles. So, okay, that's helpful because it just gives us a good perspective of where you are and your, if you use technology for sales and things like that. We built our site based on a couple of things, but Etsy was actually one of the bigger inspirations in terms of looking at their workflow for vendors and things like that. What we've found is that, well, especially for Etsy, you really can't find local folks. It's really hard to really zero in and see like somebody that's in your community. And there's so much out there that, to try to get visibility to your stuff is actually kind of hard. And so this is kind of cool because this is a brand new platform. So your stuff will get a ton of visibility, which is really great. Also with direct messages, emails and things like that. Those are, of course, people are always going to still do that. Look to you to fill those orders. What we try to provide is a streamlined way for people to be able to book you and reserve you, collect payments and all of that on your behalf so that you don't have to do some of that. So we'll actually go through the process, but to Iris's point about pricing and things, you guys are probably a lot more familiar with that because you have a product. Some of the other services that we're working with aren't as, I guess, transparent with their pricing online. It's a new world for them because there's usually a bit of a, what's your price, DM me, and from the vendor standpoint, you can see why there's a little bit of a fear of sharing pricing visibly. But from a consumer standpoint, which you guys are much more familiar with, the price is the price, and people will love your stuff and they'll want to purchase it, or they won't. It's part of what we're just so used to now. I would say with COVID, it just exploded our need for being able to purchase things online so much more. We buy everything online. And so being able to help people to see exactly what they want and then make the purchase right there and then is really what we want our customers to be able to do. So to Iris's point earlier, you're going to have your traditional ways of getting clients, whether that's word of mouth or Etsy, whatever your different channels are. We are just one more channel, one more opportunity to get sales. And so we hope to, drive a lot of traffic your way. Okay. Okay. You're on mute.
I think someone mentioned that they send thank you cards to their customers. So really, we want to think about creating a memorable experience. A lot of the people that may be transacting with through our site will be new customers, because customers that you've been working with may have a comfort level in transacting with you the way they've done in the past. And so we recently had a meeting with all of our advisors for our PR marketing strategy as part of the launch. And so we utilized the products and services of several of the businesses that were part of the guide. And so we had individual items delivered to their home prior to our meeting. So when we had the meeting, they would be consuming the items, talking about the items, and just experiencing what it is that we're actually trying to promote with the guide. And so each one of them gave us feedback, and some of the feedback said that, the delivery, the experience was very different. They would have loved to learn more about the businesses that delivered the item. So if someone buys something from you, a lot of times it may be a gift. And so you're delivering a product to someone who does not know you or who has not been in contact with you. And so maybe adding some messaging about your business goes a long way. Telling your story, people love supporting people's dreams. And so a little bit about who you are and what your business is would be great. Delivering on time is also key. We had a meeting at 7 o'clock, and so the items were all delivered at different times. We would have preferred to have a little more, alignment with the delivery. And then think about the branding in your packaging and, what type of bag is delivered. Is there a bow? Is there a card? Is there anything else that really signifies who you are as a brand? And then also adhere to safety protocols as well. Let's see.
And just on that note, really quickly, for the holidays, gifting, obviously gifting is big for the holidays anyway, but it's going to be even bigger this year. And that's because, there's so many people that can't make it in person to someplace, or the traditional ways that we may see each other, the holiday parties or the office party or things like that, we are looking at differently. We may or may not have those, and most likely won't. So people are really looking to find ways to send things to others that show their love and appreciation. And so on that note, just kind of preparing you, I guess, right, for the sales that will come in, and thinking through, how to make sure that you're prepared with your inventory and all of that stuff.
And then our terms are listed on our site, but just a couple things that we wanted to share with you. So it still is your business. The way that you've done business, the way you handle disputes, the way you resolve issues remains the same. So we are an avenue for you to achieve those sales. You'll continue to do your shipping and delivering directly. We don't do shipping and delivering, and we just want to make sure there's a kind of consistency in how we are treating all customers. Definitely, want to make sure that their experience is a good one from the beginning all the way to the end. And then with that, Patty is going to get ready to start the demo.
So in the demo, we're going to cover logging in as a vendor. So actually creating like your vendor account, setting up your vendor showroom. That's where you're going to add all of the details about you. You can share your story, add your terms and conditions. So what Iris was talking about in terms of any cancellation policies or refund policies or whatever that might be, any frequently asked questions, connect your bank account. So this goes actually to that question about payment. You'll need to make sure that that's connected on the back end. And then we'll walk you through creating a listing. We have several options. So our site is a marketplace for all things parties. So there's options for rentals, sales, and services. So we'll walk through the sales process today, but know that there's options for other things that you may be offering as well. We are going to this is just a reminder for you guys and for myself as we walk through it. There's to select the theme of holidays as we create the listing so that you show up on all the holiday searches that we're going to be sending folks to. Use the hashtag 2020 holiday guide, and we'll include this when we send a follow-up note to y'all. We do have a help site, help.festively.com. There are videos there. There's also FAQs and things like that. And we'll share this at the end as well. If you have any questions, we're here. Feel free to let us know. Also, if you experience any bugs or issues, let us know as well. We have our developers that we're constantly pinging like, hey, this needs to be adjusted or things like that. We are, startup, and so things are still working themselves out. But all the input that you can provide is very helpful. And then just kind of an FYI, some things that are coming very soon are coupons. So if you want to give a coupon to any individual person or broadly, that will be an option that you can add to your listings, as well as text notifications. Right now, the customers will receive a text notification after they make their purchase along with an email confirmation, but you just get an email. And so we know that sometimes you don't see your email. And so in order for you to make sure you're able to be as responsive as possible, we're adding that feature in. Going back to your question about in the chat, when do we get paid after a transaction occurs? So in Stripe, so Stripe is the processing system that's very similar to PayPal. It takes 2 days for the actual funds to be distributed to the correct account. So that's on that side. And then as soon as the funds are able to be distributed, I think that we have, I know Iris, we have to double check on this. We either have a bi-weekly payout or a weekly payout. We'll actually get back to you on that because I know we had a couple of options to choose from there. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Oops. So this is our homepage of Festively. Let me zoom in a little bit here too. We'll likely make a couple of tweaks going into the holidays in terms of our homepage, but right up front, this is where customers can go in and search for chocolates or treats or whatever the phrase is that you may have, candles, personalized invites. And we'll walk through how you can make sure that you can be visible. They can also search by date. So this is, when we asked you which category you're doing, what you guys typically offer is not necessarily date specific. You can offer it at any time. But if customers are looking for something, and actually Coco Rome, you may need this because if you are providing something that's custom, then there's a way to show when you're available for those custom orders. They can put in their zip code and see what's available near them. For what you guys actually do, that's not necessary because a lot of times you will be either shipping or there may be some other way of actually transacting. On the site, as folks scroll through, we give them options to find different categories or themes. So I mentioned that when we create the listing to add the theme of holidays. So when you actually click on holidays, you'll see things that are tagged with holidays. We haven't really put anything in there at this point, so you'll see that there's a note saying that there's nothing there, and giving them other options. But as we start to add in holiday items, you'll see your listings there. And then down below, you'll also see, you know, just listings in general. We have a few ways of slicing and dicing the information, what's trending versus what's popular. Trending being that people are searching for that item quite a bit. Popular being that folks have liked, or there's a heart feature where people can like the items. Highest rated in terms of people that have left ratings. Newest, everything that's new will pop up there first. Most booked, meaning that people have been purchasing that. And unique, we have a way for people to designate items as unique. So just wanted to walk you through that so you have a sense as we go through the actual creation of the listing, you can see what's going on. I'm actually going to show you something else as well. I'm going to click on a listing that we have here. This is a Winnie the Pooh baby shower or birthday party balloons, grass wall tables, and sign rental. A lot of words, but it's not a bad thing. You can use as many descriptive words as you'd like, and this really helps with search engine optimization. You may notice in the URL that that's the name of the actual listing as well. So again, this helps Google crawl through and find different listings. So just sharing something, you know, behind the scenes. You can add up to 10 photos, and then you'll be able to see as you create a listing, a description, a way for people to message you directly if they have specific questions. This is the favorite or like button, along with the unique button that helps people designate some of those items. And this is a rental. So you'll see some features on here that are different from a traditional sale. But I just wanted to show you what that may look like. This is a live listing. If I click on the name of the vendor, Majestic Party Rentals, it takes you to her showroom, what we call a showroom. And this is a place for you to add a description about you, why you're passionate about chocolate and how you started your business or whatever it is. But definitely include what you do, what types of products that you provide and offer. Again, this is also for search engine optimization. And you know, it's okay to put more than you maybe think you should. Here, again, you can message the seller. People can rate the seller as well. And you can actually favorite a showroom. So you can either favorite an item or favorite a showroom. And here you can see the listings that this party rental company is offering and different packages and the pricing. If you click on FAQ and contact, you'll see all of the business contact information. As we mentioned earlier, you know, this is your business. People are going to contact you. They're going to try to find a way to contact you if they need to. We're not trying to stop that. That's your clients. So we want to make it easy for people to find you if they have a question, an issue, whatever it is. So all of your, you know, social channels, you worked really hard to create your website, whatever it is, you can add all of that in the showroom settings that I'll walk you through. And then there's a place for reviews, and we'll kind of get into that as we go through the actual listing creation. Okay. So when you created your account, I'm actually going to log out. when you created, or when you came to your account, you created a new account, it probably looked like this. As you logged in, pardon my 1,000,001 accounts here. I'm actually going to go, I'll go with this one. Well, when you go here to, when you create your account, you probably will not yet have something here that says My Showroom. This appears once you create your vendor account. But in order to create your vendor account, it's really easy. You can go to How It Works, and then click on for business owners and side hustlers, and then you click Try It for Free. And this will actually take you to the business.festively.com site. You can go directly to business.festively.com, but wanted to show you how folks would get there from the site. And then you click Login. You've already created your regular account. That's the same exact login that you need to get into your vendor account. So click Login, and then you will see this dashboard. The dashboard gives you some at-a-glance information, your sales for the month, any year-to-date sales, orders this month, active listings, item views, so how many times your item has been viewed on the site. So some kind of helpful information. You'll also see in the calendar any orders that have come through. So just another way for you to track that. And then you can go here to the showroom settings. And this is where you will be adding all the information that we showed you on, that shows up in the showroom. So you would click Edit, and you can create your showroom name. You can adjust the email address that you get orders sent to. You do have to add a website. If you don't have an official website, you can put an Instagram site. It just has to be some type of online presence that you have, but that's just one of the requirements in order to set up your account. Add a phone number, and again, you can add all the information you want. Description, story, that's where that paragraph was. Announcements, you may have seen that in on Leslie's page. Her announcement was that we need 2 weeks to, I think, to take an order. I'll just go there so you can see it. So this is where the announcement pops up. Thank you. Please note we need 2 weeks notice for bookings. So you can say, I'm on vacation this week, or I'm on vacation from, September 1st through the 30th, or whatever you want. But that's just one more area for you to call out. I've got a new product, check it out. You can also close your showroom temporarily, or, if you need to. So this will make all of your listings inactive. And so folks aren't booking when you aren't available. You do need to add an address, and make sure that your address matches your bank account information. When you go in to add your bank account, you'll see the fields that are requested. It's like it's your actual bank account, like your routing, your account information. And they also ask for the last 4 digits of your social security. We don't ever see that. That stays in your private portal. But that is necessary for Stripe, the payment processor, to verify that you are a legitimate person that has a business or a bank. It doesn't have to be a business bank account. It can be a personal one, but Stripe has very strict rules around trying to protect consumers from fraud and not paying somebody that is not an actual person and things like that. So it just makes sure that you put all your proper information in there so that you can set up the payment. If you don't have a social security number, if you have a country of origin ID number, that's fine. Just contact us and we can help make sure that the correct information gets in there. It would be a call to Stripe to add in that information. Terms and conditions. So we talked about this. This is still in the showroom settings area here. You would just click edit and you can add your terms and conditions. So for Leslie, for example, under FAQ and contact, if you scroll down, you'll see her terms and conditions. And she has, you know, it's essentially very short. You can make it as short or as long as you want. Some people have a lot more details, but, you know, she essentially gives her deposit is non-refundable. So that's, you know, her big thing. And, you know, I'm responsible for the pricing and whatnot. This is, again, added here and under terms and conditions. And then one other thing that she has there is an FAQ. So under help, excuse me, FAQ, you can click here and you can add frequently asked questions. So for Leslie, the FAQ that she added was, what precautions are you taking during COVID? So this is a great one that everyone should probably have, whatever those precautions are that you may take. It's, I think, something helpful that makes folks, you know, feel a little bit more at ease working with you during these times.
And some additional items you can add under your terms and conditions are restrictions on delivering. You know, maybe you don't want your items in a place where there's smoke. Maybe you don't deliver upstairs or up multiple flights of stairs. Restrictions on locations where you can place your items. So all of those can go into your terms area.
We mentioned that people can message the seller. You would get any messages here under chat room. So you would see an inbox and messages would come here. So in case you need to see that. And okay, so let's go ahead and go into the listing demo. So under single listings, you click that. This is where you have options to either create a listing for rent or sale or a service. You guys are creating a listing that is for sale. So you click add new item and you get this workflow here. You actually have an option to, if you create, once you create your listing or any listings, you can say, I want to just duplicate an existing listing, and you can select from something that's been created previously. This just helps you save time, and then you just swap out, you know, some photos and a few descriptions. But if you have some things that are very similar, it makes it easy. This is a brand new listing. This listing is for sale. So you click that button. And then what we did yesterday, I think worked out well, which was, let's say these are cupcake toppers. We have a photo for it, so that's why it's easy for us to use that description. In the description, describe the listing. This is where you can add all the adjectives you want, you know, delicious, yummy, adorable cake toppers. And again, I said cake toppers, but this is where, remember, you can put as many descriptions as you want. You can say, what is that, like baby shark cake toppers? I don't know, I'm just making it up. Whatever it is that you're selling. Adorable cake toppers for that special someone in your life, whatever it is that you want to add, you can give a lot more description here. Again, this is all searchable content. Every word that you put here will be searchable. So think about how people describe your product to you, what you may ask. So I know we've got candles in here, and this folks on the line. We've got chocolates. We've got you've got your custom. We've got cards, and then we've got the custom invitation. So, you know, this applies to everyone. Upload your image, and we've got these lovely Santa cake toppers. I said baby shark, but I should have said holiday, or you could put, you know, Santa, Rudolph, all the things that you think whatever people you think might be searching for. Click upload and next. You'll actually see while it's going, there's an option that says add photos from Instagram. This is a feature that we're working on and that we hope to turn on very soon. We're just still integrating, but you know, you take some really beautiful photos for Instagram. And so This will be a way for you to connect your account and be able to pick photos that you've already posted. So coming soon. You do have to click main image. This is because you can post up to 10 images. So one always has to be that one hero image or main image that will be on the search site, and then also the front image in your listing. You click save and next. This page asks if you want to tag your listing. So what that actually does is you can tag. So say this is you're selling these cake toppers, but you also sell the cupcakes and you sell them separately. You can tag another listing that you have, and you would select the category of the listing and be able to search and find that listing. And this helps a customer who, cupcakes and cake toppers is not the greatest example, but if you sell, sometimes folks have other types of candy apples, and then there's also a cake next to it. So those are very different listings, and you can tag your other listings so you can folks can find all of your products. Maybe Confetti Fiesta, this is a good one because you've got your cards next to your piñatas, and so you can actually tag both. The other thing that you can do is tag other vendors. So as long as they're in Festively, and as we're putting this together, this guide together, that might be something you want to do. If your item is listed next to a caterer or next to something else, you don't have to, but you can also tag another vendor's items. So you'd have to look for their shop and then, select one of their listings. But again, this is just another way to be able to help customers, because sometimes you get those questions like, who did those flowers, or where'd you get that rental? And this is a place for people to cross promote, and they can promote you as well. So then you add listing details. So what's included, this is just another place for you to add some more specifics. So you can add more details. You can say this includes 12 cake toppers, does not include whatever, the cupcakes, and you can add more specifics to your listing here. Select a category. So this would be in the baking category. There's lots of categories. If you don't see your category, please let us know. We can add it on the back end. We probably don't have a comprehensive list, but we try to include as many as we could. Categories show up here on the front end under categories. So you'll see if somebody wants to specifically dive into one area, they can, and see some of the subtopics. So under baking, cupcake toppers is a subcategory. You can add multiple. You just click the command button and then click. We really recommend creating a listing on a computer. I don't think we've said that before, but it's just easier on the eyes, and can save some frustration. You can do it on a phone. It's not a problem, but it's just one less thing to get frustrated about. And then add themes or occasions. This is where we mentioned definitely add holidays so that it can show up under that category. You can, again, add multiple by right-clicking and doing that. You can add a sub-theme if you'd like Christmas. You don't have to, but those are just other ways for people to find you. You can actually also add hashtags. This is sometimes people search with hashtags, sometimes they don't, but you can use it this way. We're discovering that search engines also like hashtags, so it doesn't hurt to add a couple as well. Select available color options. So it just depends on what you're offering. You can select just one and say, there's only one option. There's no real selection. But if you have a few different options, this is technically clear what I clicked on. You can click on, fuchsia and yellow. It depends on what type of product you're offering. For your piñatas, this may work. Which color piñata would you like? If you don't see a color that you like here, please let us know. We can add that as well. Size options. This is really if you have products that are the same, that all cost the same price. So for example, t-shirts are small, medium, and large. If you have different size options and they're different prices, I would say create a different listing for the other price or the other size that you have. Then you can also add other options, like what other options that customers can choose from. You can select from here, or you can list other options. One thing I wanted to note for folks that do something more custom, sometimes the item is specific. You can say, trying to think of the folks that are on here. For your candles, I think you can say, you know, vanilla. So you type the option and then you press enter. Vanilla, rose, and I don't know, peach. I'm making it up. But other times, you know, those are specific options. But other times, if you have, let's say, you want them to be able to do a custom. So we're still kind of figuring out all the ins and outs here, but you can say whatever is the standard. So if it is like, there was a good one earlier where it was the somebody,
Buttercream or
yeah, I guess you could talk about a cake, but I just wanted you to see, and actually you'll see it when we go live, or when we create this listing as live, that if you want people to have the option to send in something that's a custom request, you can say, you know, I'll just say that too, like buttercream, chocolate, or custom flavor. Whatever makes sense for you, okay? And this is just, you know, so that folks feel like, well, there is another option that I want. After they make the purchase and your item is a custom item, you will be getting in contact with them to figure out the ins and outs, you know, the back and forth. So it's not like this is going to capture everything. That I found that to be the same even for Etsy. Even when I you know, purchase something that's customizable, it's still like, so what do you want to put on it? You know, there's still that back and forth. But we'll look at this on the front end so you guys know that you can this is we can add whatever phrases you want. If you have an SKU on your item, you can add that here. Okay, set your pricing details. What is the sales price that you are listing these cake toppers? Let's say it's $25. You can apply a fixed discount. Say you are doing like a blowout sale, and you know, later on you want to come back here and say this is you know, 10% off or $5 off or whatever it is. Completely optional. You don't have to do that. Is this item new or used? There are some folks that resell things, so that's just, you know, an option there. If it is used, you can add a note for any wear and tear or items or information like that. This is a new item. And then is shipping offered? So as Iris mentioned, we don't yet integrate with shipping. We would love to, and I know there's some really amazing tools out there that we're learning all about, but at this point we don't offer integrated shipping. And so if you do offer shipping, you can say some information about how big the item is. This is really just for reference, so folks have a sense of it. So this is, let's say it's your candles, they're about, you know, maybe 2 inches wide and 4 inches high. Length, it's kind of arbitrary which one is height versus length. I'll just say 2 inches in length. What's the weight? Candles are actually very tricky to ship because of the heat, so it's probably not the best one to describe there. But let's say it's 6 ounces. There's a flat delivery price. That's all we have right now. We don't have the ability to say we're going to Kansas, it's going to be, you know, $10 versus LA, it's going to be $5. You can come up with a median type of a delivery price to add that makes sure that you buffer in any kind of fluctuation there. Some people I've seen, you know, when I purchased online, they just have a straight flat $5 delivery price, especially if it's something that's like a t-shirt that's easy to ship. Your products may be different. So just want you to know that that's what we have right now. You can that's kind of where we're at right now. So that's the only tricky thing about what we're doing. You may offer delivery. I know Coco Roam, you say you're only going to deliver to the inland or the
Venture in LA.
the Ventura and LA area. Let's talk afterward because you have kind of a different case that it may make more sense for you to list your item as a different type of a sale because you have a delivery zone that you are willing to deliver to. And then you click save and your item is saved successfully. So let's take a quick look on the front end. So it should pop up under newest, the Baby Shark cupcakes that are not Baby Shark. You can click on that there and see the listing. We only added the one photo. The image in your, I didn't mention this, but in your showroom, you can add your logo or an image. When I showed you Leslie's site, you saw that there's a photo of Leslie versus a logo. We really recommend a photo because this just helps people to see that there's a person behind the business, and it just makes them connect with you that much more. You're welcome to use your logo, but that's just our recommendation. But anyhow, you'll see a blank logo here because that was not added in the showroom setting. Here are those options that we were talking about. They can select either fuchsia or yellow for these. Again, it's you can also just have the one option and say this is what it is. There's no options there. What color or what flavor, you can say custom flavor. And then when you connect back with the customer that there is a customization that they're looking for. What's included, the 12 cake toppers. This is the other information that we talked about. And then you can click add to bag. Okay, so you can actually access the bag from down here or from the hamburger menu. And you click my bag and you'll see the cupcakes. This is something that I just noticed, Iris, that I have to talk with our developer about, but they're adding an extra fee onto so the cupcakes are $25 and they're showing up as 30. I think that they're adding the delivery fee to the item and then adding the delivery fee on top of that. So anyhow, this will be fixed, so you guys will see that. But you'll see that the delivery fee has been added. Confirm the order. Folks can go ahead and change, add their address or for where they're delivering or where you're shipping to, and then proceed with the checkout. Back on the back end, you'll see when someone places an order, you'll actually go here in the left column and under orders, you'll see which orders have been placed. As we mentioned, you'll receive an email letting you know that the order has been placed. The customer will receive an email with an invoice, actually, so that they can have that, print that, use it however they'd like. And also under orders, when you receive an order, there's an area that allows you to add more details to the invoice. So if you have that conversation with your customer and they say, we want koi fish chocolates with, mostly red koi fish instead of the white, whatever the conversation that you had. You guys will see the koi fish. They're so gorgeous whenever you see the final pictures. You can add those, you can type in those details in your order here on this page, and those will automatically be added to your invoice. So the customer, you'll have that documentation, customer will have it as well. I'll pause there and see if there's any questions.
How did you add, or how would you add a note to this order? I know you just said it. I just didn't see how you actually do it.
That's okay. Let me go to another account that has orders in there so you could actually see it. We're actually making some adjustments to the invoice right now because it looks a little bit messy. But this is an order that was just placed. So you'll see, so you can see some of the labels are not quite right. We're making some adjustments here. But when you click on an order that's come in, it'll tell you when it came in, at what time. I believe they have this on East Coast. So your order information will come in, the amount that the person paid. You'll see the description of the details, and then you can add your note here. So these cake toppers, this was just a listing that we created for testing purposes, but we'll say wants all blue.
Okay.
And then you click save. And then when you actually look at your invoice here, so this invoice is in a browser view, but you'll see in the notes here, wants all blue.
Okay. Thank you.
I had a question.
Yeah.
I don't know how easy this is, but when they do select what they want, is it possible to have a section for them to add notes to the order?
It definitely is. You know, as we were preparing for this call, that was definitely something that I saw as a missed opportunity. We have that under services. So if people, we have like an option for people to say their special requests under services. So we will work to get that updated for the sales as well. I'm not sure if that'll be ready in time for you to create your listing since we have such a tight turnaround, but it's definitely a great suggestion.
Okay, and then since I do signage, and like for the Las Posadas, I did the food signs. So, you know, one of the options would be like if they wanted to put down what foods they actually wanted in those and not the ones that I actually had at the photo shoot.
Yes.
So, you know, I would need them to actually like list out like which ones they wanted.
Yeah.
You know?
Let me see how quickly we can turn that around because that would be really helpful.
Okay, and then I don't know if this applies to anybody else, but with mine, I usually on my Etsy shop, I give them the option of either the digital file where they go and print it themselves, or I print and ship everything to them. Like, can I offer that here? Would it have to be 2 listings because there isn't that variation, or how would that work?
Are those 2 different prices?
Yes, it would be.
So I would say 2 different listings.
Okay.
Yeah, at this point we don't, because there's definitely, Etsy is great for downloadables. I mean, they've really figured out how to create their own kind of process just for that. Your product is unique in this world or on Festively, I should say, for now, but it's definitely something that we want to get better at. But for now, it'd be 2 listings.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have another question about photos.
Yes.
So we know that you've taken some photos, and we likely would have other photos of other products. Are we using we're using our own photos for those listings then, is that right?
Correct, yes.
So they won't look as good.
They won't look as pretty. Just, you know, we have such a fabulous photographer and all the things. Oops, let me click. So you did see here, if someone were to click on, you know, your showroom, it's nice that these are all, you know, Leslie's own photos that she took. So they're still nice.
Beautiful.
But it is nice to see other offers that you may have. The other thing is when you click on a listing and you scroll down, if people do scroll down, they'll see more listings from Majestic Party Rentals. So they will be able to see other listings that you have on that page, and then more from this category. So you'll see crossovers from anybody else that has things in that balloon category or whatever category that might be. So we do want you to, you know, add, this is, you know, people are going to be browsing and looking for gift ideas and things like that. So definitely add other things that you want to sell. And, you know, from our perspective, again, you know, this is your business, whatever makes the most sense for you guys. And, you know, for us, we only collect a payment if you make a sale. So we really want to help you guys get those sales, but, you know, so don't feel like you have to limit what you put on there because there's an upfront fee for putting things on there.
So we can add more other products like that weren't in the photo shoot then?
Yes, you can definitely add more.
Okay.
Okay. So after this call, we will, not directly after, probably sometime a bit later, we'll be sending you the photos, some other notes based on the conversation today. We're also going to, I think Iris mentioned this, but send you the list of vendors who were in that photo shoot. So you have them, you can tag and just, you know, use them appropriately. But if there's any other questions, definitely feel free to reach out to us directly. We're here. We want your feedback. We are a work in progress, but we definitely, you know, want to know, especially if something isn't working correctly.
I'm sorry,
All
one more.
right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I noticed like with the plans, there's going to be 3 different plans. Will the price be going up? I know right now it's at 0, but also in beta testing. Like, how is that going to work?
Yeah. So, oh, go ahead, Iris.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say our long-term goal is actually to make this a subscription-based site. We are still figuring out all the ins and outs and how that would work. But what we ultimately would love to do is to make this a flat monthly fee. And so we wouldn't be taking commission. We would just take, you know, the monthly fee, and then you can continue to use Festively as often as you want. And, you know, you can kind of manage your fees in that way. But we'll get there. That we just have to figure out what that would be and how to make that work.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Very awesome. Okay.
All right. Thank you
guys so
all.
much. We'll see you all
Thank you.
soon.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.